Scott Disick's biggest regret about his marriage to Kourtney Kardashian. Welcome back to Binge-Worthy Network. Just when we thought Scott Disick would win Kourtney's heart back, that's when Travis Barker stepped in to steal the show. Here is what Scott Disick regrets most about his relationship with Kourtney Kardashian. But before we jump in, hit that like and subscribe button to be notified and updated on the latest Kardashian drama and news. It has been a very sad month for all those Scott Court stans of the world. In October of 2021, the reality TV star shared her exciting engagement news to the Blink-182 drummer Travis Barker. Thousands swarmed social media platforms to congratulate Kourtney for finally getting her happy ending. Along with fans and Keeping Up with the Kardashians viewers, it was the Kardashian siblings that couldn't help but share their happiness and excitement. Not so shocking to most, there was one person who didn't celebrate with the KUWT gay star, and that person is none other than Kourtney's ex-boyfriend, Scott Disick. When it comes to reality TV, Scott Disick is a true star inside and out. Ever since he began dating Kourtney back in 2006, Scott has remained a fan favorite amongst millions across the world, which is why many were a bit upset to see Scott's heart break over the engagement news. You see, even though Scott and Kourtney officially called it quits in 2015, the parents of three have remained on some questionable grounds. Now, what do we mean by that? Well, Kourt would often raise the topic of having a fourth child with Scott, while the Hollywood Bachelor would often share his feelings towards the reality TV star. Over the last couple of years, it became very clear that Kourt and Scott would one day get back together, but that's when the rock star drummer stole Kardashian's heart, and that's when the whole romantic narrative changed. Upon hearing his ex get engaged to Travis Barker, Scott dived into a very unhealthy stage. From jealousy and envy to pure hatred, the father of three is definitely not a fan of this coupling, and he isn't hiding his feelings. According to sources and insiders who spilled the details, the Keeping Up with the Kardashians' father is anything but happy for Kourt and Travis. So much so that he hopes she will call off the engagement at some point and not get married to Travis. Check out the shocking statements and how Disick hopes and prays that Kourtney will one day be single again. He knew it was possible, but is very jealous of Kourtney and Travis's relationship. Scott still thinks that they could call things off before the wedding. He is absolutely furious over the engagement news. Along with some harbored feelings, Scott is apparently upset at Khloe Kardashian for not giving him a heads up. According to sources, Scott has been feeling very betrayed and blindsided by the entire engagement. He blames Khloe K in particular for not keeping him in the loop. Insiders spilled the tea to Hollywood Life about how Scott found out the truth about Kourt. Khloe and Kris Jenner knew that Travis was going to ask Kourtney to marry him, and they could have prepared him for the news. Instead, they pretended that they didn't know anything and kept him in the dark. He doesn't know if he can ever forgive them for this. Scott has been there for Khloe through all of her darkest times, and he would always stick up for her whenever anyone came for her. She always made him believe that she was his sister and that there was nothing she wouldn't do for him. That must have been truly shocking for Scott to hear. But that's not where this drama ends, because as sources went on to explain, Khloe and the rest of the Jenner sisters believed that Kourtney's new relationship with Travis Barker was simply a phase. Khloe and her sisters led Scott to believe that this whole Travis thing was a phase and that they were rooting for him. But when the engagement took place, Khloe jumped ship and liked every single post that Kourtney and Travis posted on Instagram. Scott expected this from Kim, but Khloe and Kris always had his back and always insisted that they wanted nothing more than for him and Kourtney to hash it out and be together. Scott Disick insiders also go on to say how the whole Kourtney and Travis romance seemed more like a phase than a very serious relationship. At first, it seemed like it was just a casual relationship to him, nothing serious, so he pretty much put that on mute. He hasn't been giving it too much brainpower, thinking that eventually they'd break up, but that didn't happen and now he's being forced to deal with it, which is uncomfortable. He knows he has to lean into the discomfort and get past it. He understands that it's not Kourtney's job or Travis's job to make him okay with this. It's his job, and if he's going to co-parent with Kourtney, which he has been, he has to process this and make his peace with it. Scott is stewing over Kourtney and Travis's engagement and is not happy at all. He's lonely right now and not in a relationship and is very jealous that things are working out for Kourtney. Scott would prefer to go back to when him and Kourtney were just getting along as co-parents without anyone else in their lives romantically. He's going to go off the deep end. It's really bad. It's about to get dark. While we are over the moon for Kourtney and her newfound love and happiness, it's still very upsetting to see Scott Disick go through such negative emotions and feelings. We're not the only ones. Even diehard Keeping Up with the Kardashians fans feel bad for Scott. Live footage of TMZ trying to speak to Scott Disick after hearing the news of Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker getting engaged. Live footage of Scott Disick after seeing the news that Kourtney and Travis are engaged. Kourtney engaged? I just know. Scott is crying and throwing up right now. Kourtney refusing to marry Scott even though she had 3 children with him, refusing to continue filming KUWTK because she felt it was taking time away from her children, and now in her 40s in a happy, healthy relationship and newly engaged is the type of role model we need. That brings us to a very interesting topic of marriage. Specifically, why did Kourtney, who has never wanted to marry Scott, suddenly change her mind over the concept of marriage? Well, as you know, Kourtney loves her family and is looking forward to having another child. While a 4th child was always in the back of Kourt's mind, marriage and a wedding didn't necessarily hold much weight. That is, until she met the love of her life, Travis Barker. And the insiders agree. They truly have a bond like no other. No one has seen her feel this way about a man in a very long time. They have the best connection and communication, something that's very important to her. They are still in the honeymoon phase and it's going really well. Travis is a super smooth guy and women love him, but he's not a player. He's really, really nice, chill, and is an adult. Kourtney is at a place in her life where she's ready for a relationship with a more mature guy. Her sisters love him. Kourtney is very happy with Travis. She wanted to confirm their relationship because it's something positive. She was single for a while and didn't expect that their relationship would turn romantic. She feels very fortunate. She loves spending time with Travis. For her, she wants to get to the baby part and feels like she's finally got her happy fairy tale ending and she just wants it to all start immediately. Right now, they live in separate houses and there are quite a few complications to marriage in terms of where the kids live, but they are determined that they can make this work and that getting married and having a new baby is the right thing for the future. When it comes to Travis Barker, we think the secret to their healthy relationship was built on trust and loyalty. Even though Scott and Kourt were together for nearly 10 years, the father of 3 was a notorious cheater in the relationship. Along with some substance abuse issues, Scott would often go abroad, party, and sleep with other women. All of the hardships drove a huge wedge between the parents of 3, which ultimately resulted in their breakup in 2015. With Travis, the Push CEO creator seems happier, more trusting, and overall excited for the future. After months of dating, there have been almost 0 claims of a breakup or a huge argument. Time and time again, insiders are confirming their fairy tale romance and how the Hollywood stars are absolutely head over heels over each other. Which is why Scott may be regretting his behavior toward Kourtney. While the mother of 3 would often give Disick second chances, the reality TV dad ultimately took Kourt for granted, which is exactly why she left the toxic relationship. And so, even though Scott Disick may be going through a hard time, we are still happy for Kourtney and her exciting chapter in her life. But what do you think about this complicated Hollywood love story? Are you excited to see Kourtney Kardashian finally walk down the aisle? Do you think Kourt and Travis are soulmates? Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and give us a like. And don't forget to turn on your post notifications and share this video with your friends. Goodbye, everyone.